The source law isn't meant for learning, it's for remembering. This audiobook reveals a timeless truth. Life doesn't react to your desires, it responds to who you are. Your journey starts now, not with hard work, but with letting go and embracing the eternal source law. Long ago, there was a deep wisdom, so powerful that it could change those who encountered it. This knowledge isn't born from academic discussions, it comes from the quiet depths of existence itself. The ancients called it the source law. It's the hidden force behind all creation, the sacred thread weaving through every moment. You're now at a pivotal point of discovery. You didn't stumble upon this by accident. The universe has gently guided you here, preparing you for this awakening. This knowledge isn't something you just read. It's something you feel deep within you, in the quiet spaces between thoughts and during moments of meditation. The source law reveals itself to those who come with respect, humility, and an open heart. As you explore these teachings, you'll realize true strength lies not in talking about these mysteries, but in living them. The ancient masters understood this well. Those who truly grasp these truths remain silent, letting their transformed lives do the talking instead of their words. The path ahead calls for discretion. These aren't ideas to debate around the dinner table or shout from rooftops. They are sacred insights, alive and responsive to the attention they receive in the stillness of your heart. In that silence, these truths will grow, leading to a deeper understanding beyond words. Inside you lies an ancient wisdom, waiting to be awakened. The source law isn't something new to your soul. It's a remembrance, a return to what's always been. Let go of the urge to analyze or label. Just allow yourself to be a vessel for this timeless power. Part 1. The Whisper of Awakening. Chapter 1. The Hidden Law. In the village of Pinefield, young Ezekiel spent his mornings caring for his father's sheep. One beautiful dawn, as the mist settled over the valley, he spotted a curious hollow in an old oak tree. Reaching inside, his fingers brushed against something smooth and warm. From the depths, he pulled out a medallion that seemed to glow from within. Holding it, waves of knowledge washed over him, not in words, but in a feeling of pure understanding. In those moments of innocent discovery, the source law reveals itself. It's simple. It doesn't operate through complicated rules. The universe responds to who you truly are, not just your words or wishes. This fundamental force flows through everything, organizing reality in tune with who you are at your core. Many have tried to manipulate this law with sheer will or desperate prayers, but the source law speaks only the language of vibration. It doesn't listen to what you say. It senses who you are in that quiet space before thoughts or desires. There's where the true power to shape your reality lies. This truth doesn't need belief, faith, or conviction. It simply exists, like gravity. It works whether or not you recognize it. Your job isn't to turn it on, but to align with what's always been at work. In another village, there lived Clara, a seamstress who knew how to work with silk and wool. She spent years pushing against life's challenges with her hopes and fears. Then one morning, she stopped fighting. She sat quietly with her needle and thread, allowing herself to just be in the moment. In that stillness, everything changed. Opportunities flowed in effortlessly, as natural as breathing. The more she let go of trying to force things, the more life seemed to organize itself around her calm understanding. Clara's journey reflects a timeless truth. The source law responds to your frequency, not your force. When your inner state aligns with what you desire, reality shifts to match. It's not magic or a miracle. It's just how the universe works at its core. Now, practice this. Find a quiet room, close your eyes, and let go of all thoughts about wanting or seeking. Allow your desires to bubble up naturally, like rising bubbles in still water. Don't label them or chase after them. Just hold them in your mind and let the source law do its work through pure recognition. Stay in that silence for as long as it feels right, knowing that in your stillness, the universe is already responding. In Chapter 2, The Sacred Veil. In ancient lands where wisdom is carried by stone and sky, Walter wandered with his lute, following melodies that only played in his dreams. Night after night, that same haunting melody pulled him in. Then one evening, under the bright light of a full moon, he discovered something daylight had kept hidden, a temple made of shimmering alabaster. Its pillars appeared to rise straight from the moonbeams, As he stepped inside, a voice, gentle like wind through chimes, whispered, "Nothing is hidden, only unseen." These words reveal how the source law works in your life. At every moment, you're surrounded by endless power. Yet, your mind's been trained to see limits. This isn't a barrier to break, it's an illusion to see through. The veil you think is there isn't fabric or shadow. It's made of your own thoughts and beliefs, the habits that obscure what's been right in front of you all along. The source law isn't hiding. You've just learned to look past it. It's like staring too closely at a painting and missing its beauty. When you switch from searching to simply seeing, from struggling to allowing, you'll find that veil starts to fade. In a quiet town lived Dorothy. She spent her days lost in books, but her mind filled with worries about what could go wrong. Each morning brought fresh fears to deal with. But one day, without even trying, she began to daydream about peace instead of disaster. She didn't wrestle with her thoughts. She just let herself relax in moments of calm. Slowly, the world around her began to change. Problems that once felt massive worked themselves out with surprising ease. She hadn't changed her life. She'd shifted how she saw it. And in that shift, she flowed with the source law. Dorothy's journey reflects your own possibilities. You don't need to push the veil away. It naturally dissolves when you stop giving it power. The source law is at work in every moment, whether you notice it or not. Being aware helps you move in sync with its flow. So practice this. Find a quiet spot and light a candle. Get comfortable in front of it and allow your breath to slow down. With soft eyes, gently gaze into the flickering flame and watch it dance. As you do, repeat these words with calm certainty. I do not seek, I see. Feel that truth resonate within you and let the veil part as you stay in that peaceful state. Receptivity is like a flame shining with the timeless light of wisdom. It reveals what's always been there. Stick with this practice until you feel a shift inside, an awareness of the constant source of law flowing through you. In the misty hills, where time seems different, Edwin made timepieces with hands that held forgotten secrets. Night after night, strange symbols danced in his dreams. Circles within circles, spirals that seemed to breathe, triangles that carried the weight of ages. Each morning, he sketched them with trembling fingers, sensing their meaning just out of reach. You too hold this ancient knowledge within you. These teachings aren't new. Your soul recognizes them. Even if your mind sees them as fresh insights, the source law has whispered its truths since the very first breath. Those who came before us understood it as naturally as the changing seasons. In the quiet depths of monasteries and temples, wise ones carved these truths into stone, not to keep them safe, but to remind future generations. They knew that awakening isn't about moving forward, it's a return. You aren't learning, you're remembering. The source speaks in a language older than words. It communicates through symbols in your dreams, through the deep knowing in your chest, and through patterns in nature that carry deeper meanings. These aren't coincidences, they're memories stirring. In a small cottage surrounded by wildflowers, Hattie spent her childhood talking to what others thought was an imaginary friend. This presence, which she called light, shared wisdom from somewhere vast and ancient. As she grew up, society urged her to forget, to dismiss these talks as childish imagination. But years later, sitting in her garden, memories of Light's teachings resurfaced, teachings that aligned perfectly with the eternal principles of the source law. Your own childhood likely holds similar treasures, moments when the veil was thin and truth flowed freely. The source has been communicating with you all along, through intuitive flashes, dreams that felt more real than being awake, and coincidences too perfect to be chance. In quiet meditation, silently ask yourself, what have I forgotten that I once knew? Let your mind wander back to those moments. In those precious early years, wisdom flowed freely. Record whatever bubbles up from deep within you. Memories, feelings, insights. Don't judge or overthink what comes up. Some revelations might seem small at first, like scattered pieces of a bigger puzzle waiting to fit together. Trust that each familiar memory holds a bit of the eternal wisdom you once understood so clearly. Through this practice, you start to rebuild the bridge between what you know now and the clear perceptions of your youth. Chapter 4. The Word Before the World. In those forgotten valleys, where ancient wisdom still hangs around, lived a hermit named Samuel. He hadn't spoken a word in 30 years. Every day at dawn, he'd go to the sacred stones near his simple home. With weathered hands, he traced invisible letters into their surfaces, messages unseen but felt by every heart. Those who passed through the valley found themselves blessed. Crops thrived without rain, ailments disappeared without medicine, and joy burst forth for no reason. No one could explain these miracles, but they were all linked to Samuel's quiet ritual. You see, every word you speak sends ripples through the fabric of creation. The universe doesn't care if you're just chatting or consciously creating. It responds to every vibration equally. Your words are like seeds in the rich soil of manifestation. Each one grows into the reality you find yourself living in. Most people wander through life, scattering words carelessly, like tossing coins into a wishing well. They fill the air with empty phrases, complaints, and mindless chatter, not realizing that each syllable shapes their destiny. The power to create gets lost in a sea of meaningless speech. In a busy coastal town, Ruth was known for her sharp tongue and loose lips. Her shop once brimmed with treasures from faraway lands. But as her gossip increased, her prosperity dwindled. Customers began to leave, fine silks turned to rags, and gold tarnished beneath her endless chatter. Then one day an old sage came through. He bought nothing but gave everything. He told Ruth, "Your words are gold. Why waste them on tales that diminish?" From that day on, Ruth guarded her speech like the treasure it was. She spoke only to create, to bless, and to uplift. Within just a few months, her shop changed completely, turning into a hub of abundance born from deep, quiet reflection. This story reflects your own journey and the power of your words. Every time you speak, you either create something new or tear something down, build up or pull down. In the pause between your thoughts and breaths lies your true strength. That silent wisdom comes before any spoken truth. Start by dedicating just one day to silence from dawn to dusk. Let those unspoken words build energy inside you. Pay attention to how the world shifts when you stop wasting your energy on pointless chatter. As the day ends, stand in front of a mirror. Stay still. Take 3 long, deep breaths to ground yourself. Then, with clarity and confidence, say one carefully chosen sentence. Make it a truth, a blessing, or an intention. Feel how heavy and powerful each word is as you let it out. Notice how different it feels to speak with such intention after holding that sacred silence. This practice will awaken your true creative power. In Chapter 5, we explore vibration as a beginning. In a little mountain village where mist hugs the old stone walls, lived a violinist named Clifford. Each evening, as the shadows danced across the cobbled streets, he would stand by his window with his violin under his chin. But instead of playing tunes, he would pour out a single clear note. It seemed to slice through reality itself. On one particular night, a widow named Margaret walked beneath his window, her heart heavy with grief, coloring her world in shades of gray. When Clifford's note filled the air, something stirred inside her. That vibration didn't just touch her ears, it reached deep into her soul. In that moment, her sorrow shifted into a gentle peace, as if that note had rebalanced her very being. You see, the law of the universe doesn't work through the chaos of raw emotions, but through precise frequency. When you grasp this truth, you realize that manifestation comes from harmony, not the chaos of unchecked feelings. Your emotional state sends ripples through the universe, but those ripples need to be coherent to make your desires come to life. In a distant seaside town, there was Betsy. She moved through life unknowingly, sending out mixed signals. Her shop struggled, her relationships fell apart, and bad luck seemed to stalk her. She blamed her circumstances, fate, even other people, never understanding that her inner turmoil was creating the frequency that drew these misfortunes to her. Just what she feared. But then one morning, as she watched the waves roll in, something clicked. Each wave moved in a perfect rhythm. In that moment, she understood that just like the waves, she could tune her own energy. Day by day, she learned to adjust her inner state, much like a musician tunes their instrument. As her frequency shifted, so did her reality. Your body is a creative tool. Every thought, every feeling sends ripples into the endless sea of possibilities. When you're out of sync, you draw in chaos. But when you find harmony, the universe mirrors that back to you. Here's a little practice. Start each morning in a calm space where you won't be disturbed. Sit comfortably and hum a soft, low tone. Let that sound fill your chest. Feel the vibration flow through you, like waves spreading across calm water. As you keep that sound going, picture it tuning your energy, aligning you with universal harmony. Just like a craftsman carefully tunes his tools, you're fine-tuning the divine instrument that is you. Make this your daily ritual, a moment to connect with the cosmic music around you. Now let's turn to Thomas in those quiet hills beyond the city. He worked with wood, his hands knowing more than his mind. Each morning as dawn cast a gentle glow in his workshop, he stood before his workbench and took a deep breath, settling his spirit into stillness. The law of the universe responds not to what you say you want, but to the totality of your being. Thomas learned this by feeling the grain of the wood. When joy filled his heart, the wood sang beneath his tools, flowing like water. But on days clouded by anger or doubt, even soft pine became stubborn and resistant. This is what alignment is all about, when your thoughts, emotions, and actions are in sync. Many chase their dreams with sheer will, wondering why they feel so far away. Yet the universe only responds to harmony. If your thoughts seek abundance but your heart fears lack, you create discord. If your words speak trust but your actions reveal doubt, you scatter your energy. Nai's story reflects this truth. For years, she knelt in prayer each night, asking the heavens for health. Mabel lived in a small cottage by a fading garden. Her sharp words had turned into thorns around her heart. Every morning she'd wake up and curse the sun for being too bright, the rain for being too wet, and the silence for being too loud. As her complaints grew, her world shrank. Flowers wilted as she passed by, neighbors avoided her, and shadows deepened in her home. One misty morning, a beggar appeared at her gate. Despite her harsh words, he smiled and handed her a small mirror wrapped in faded silk. "Look deeply," he whispered before disappearing into the fog. You see, the law works through reflection, not reaction. What you see as resistance from the world is just your own energy coming back to you. The universe holds no grudges and carries no judgment. It simply reflects the vibration you put out there. When Mabel first looked at the mirror, she flinched at the bitterness on her face. But as she stared longer, she noticed those same lines of anger in the bare branches of her garden. The coldness she wore matched the withering around her. In her empty rooms, she felt the same darkness reflected in the faces that turned away from her. The world became a mirror of her inner struggles. Howard, the preacher, was on a similar path. He preached loudly about divine punishment, seeing sin everywhere. Soon, his congregation started judging him harshly in return. Each criticism he faced echoed his own doubts. It was only when he recognized his reflection in their critical gazes that his message began to soften. And with that, the hearts of those around him began to open. You see, the universe isn't against you. It simply reflects what you put out. When you hit a wall, don't look for outside reasons. Instead, look inside. When challenges come up, ask yourself, what part of me is creating this? The law teaches us that what you experience isn't happening to you. It's happening through you. Every situation, every person you meet, every random twist and turn sends a message about what's happening within you. The world is a living mirror, providing endless chances to recognize and adjust your energy. Each night, before you drift off to sleep, take a moment to reflect deeply. Ask yourself, what did the world show me today about who I am? Let your mind wander through the day's events. Think back on each interaction and every challenge, even the joyful moments. It's like reading a personal message just for you. Spot the patterns. They're not random. They're clues guiding you to a deeper understanding. Think about how your inner state shaped these outside experiences and jot down any insights you uncover. This simple practice can slowly unveil how your energy influences the world around you. Now, let's talk about desire. In a far-off village, where fog clung to ancient stone walls, a young girl named Frances experienced the same dream every night. A golden door, shining with a strange light, called to her from the depths of sleep. Night after night, the door appeared, but she hesitated to approach, thinking it was just a fancy of her lonely mind. But here's the thing. Desire is like a language, a voice from the universe speaking through you. If a vision sticks with you, burning quietly in your heart, it's not just your ego. It's the universe itself, nudging you towards something greater. Path Frances sought advice from a wise person who lived in the mountains. This sage told her, "Your desire is calling you. Don't question it. Honor it." Many people stumble here, thinking their deepest wishes are selfish or unworthy. But true desire, the kind that whispers in dreams and tugs at your spirit, is a divine message flowing through you. Ignoring that call is like resisting the very essence of creation. Take Joe, for instance. He was a talented healer but refused to accept his ability to heal with a touch. He thought, "Such power isn't for me." So he chose a life of quiet resignation. Over time, he grew weaker, barely able to get out of bed. Only when he accepted his gift and followed his true desire did his health return, like spring breaking free from winter's hold. This story mirrors your own journey. What desires have you buried, brushing them off as impossible or unworthy? The source law speaks through those sacred longings. If you feel a persistent call, a recurring dream, or an undeniable pull towards something greater, that's not just wishful thinking. It's the universe awakening its potential through you. Your desires are part of the law. They express how it moves through you. To honor them is to align with the very flow of creation. Now take a moment to think of one deep desire you've kept hidden from yourself and others. Pick something that stirs both excitement and fear in your heart. Write this desire down on a small piece of paper. Let your hand shake if it needs to. Hold the paper close to your lips and whisper your desire as if sharing a secret prayer. Then, with reverence, burn the paper and watch the ashes scatter. Know that the law has heard your whispered truth. It was listening even before you found the courage to say it. This small ritual marks the start of your alignment with the divine plan of the source law for your life. Now, turn your attention to doubt. It's like a gatekeeper. In the quiet hills beyond the city, Morris stood watch each night, sword heavy by his side. Strange lights flickered on the horizon, whispers floated in the wind, and dreams of golden pathways haunted his sleep. Yet he turned away, convincing himself these were just tricks of a tired mind. You are now stepping into the sacred realm of doubt, the shadowy space between knowing and becoming. The source law speaks through signs. The mind can come up with all sorts of reasons to avoid facing things. This isn't weakness, it's the natural pause before change. One night, under the moonlight, Morris finally gave in to his exhaustion. In that stillness, a voice broke through, doubt. It told him he could pause, but not give up. In that moment, he realized that his struggle had been preparing him, not holding him back. The law doesn't ask for blind faith, it encourages us to think carefully. Doubt can actually lead to deeper understanding. Your hesitation isn't a flaw, it's how your soul tests whether you're ready for power. Over in a distant valley, Edna had a healing gift, but faced her own shadows. She could ease pain and heal wounds, yet worried about what others thought. What if they laugh at my gift, she feared. But as her doubt grew, so did the signs around her. Birds landed at her window. Strangers began seeking her out by name. Dreams of ancient healing temples flooded her mind. It wasn't until Edna embraced her fear of looking foolish that her true power blossomed. The very doubt that plagued her was actually protecting her, making sure she could handle her calling. If you're reading this and feeling doubt in your heart, let it rise. Observe it without judgment. Doubt doesn't erase the truth, it sharpens it, refining your certainty through questions. The law works not through blind acceptance, but through understanding gained from testing. When doubt knocks on your door, greet it as a sacred messenger asking, "Are you ready for what you seek?" Practice this. Take a doubt that weighs you down and set it before you. Ask with an open heart, what truth is this doubt guarding? Let that question resonate deep within you. Sit in silence, breathing slowly until wisdom comes to you. In that gap between questioning and knowing, your deepest truth is waiting. Trust that the answer will come, not from your frantic mind, but from the stillness of your soul. Stay in this contemplative space as long as you need. Some truths come like morning dew, slowly and softly, yet with clear significance. Others burst forth suddenly, like springs erupting from the rocks in the desert. Both ways lead to understanding. As you linger in this sacred space, notice how your doubt begins to change. Not an obstacle, but a doorway for greater wisdom. Remember, asking questions shows your dedication to the truth. It's a humble sign that you're ready for deeper understanding. In Chapter 10, we dive into the power of silence. Up in a mountain monastery, Lucille was looking for a break from her constant chatter. Her words flowed like a river, drowning out the pain she felt deep inside. Day in and day out, she filled the halls with stories, jokes, complaints, anything to avoid the silence that might expose her wounds. You need to realize that words can act like walls. They create barriers between your soul and the source. Each word spoken without intention saps the energy you need to grow and change. The monk Elijah, seeing Lucille's distress, gently placed a hand on her shoulder and said, "The law works in silence." He took her to a sacred space where talking wasn't allowed. At first, she struggled against the quiet, her whole body shaking with unsaid thoughts. But as time went on, something amazing happened. Her pain began to lessen. The source operates with its strongest force in silence. When you stop the constant chatter in your head and mouth, you give the universe room to work. Your energy, instead of being scattered by endless talking, focuses into a powerful creative force. Down in the busy city, George, a seasoned lawyer, discovered this truth his own way. Known for his sharp tongue, he kept losing cases, until, exhausted, he embraced silence. In the courtroom, he started to listen more than he spoke. In negotiations, he'd let silence create unspoken pressure, and soon his practice thrived, not due to clever arguments, but the power of stillness. Silence isn't just the absence of noise, it's the essence of presence. It's like the dark soil where all great ideas grow. When you stop filling every moment with sound, you let the source speak through synchronicity, intuition, and deep knowing. Set aside a special 2-hour block each day for total stillness. During this time, cut out all talking, screens, and distractions. Create a sanctuary of silence where wisdom can rise naturally. Find a quiet spot, maybe in nature or a serene corner of your home, and let the source communicate through your intuition. As you make this daily practice, you'll find that the universe speaks loudest when you stop filling every second with noise. Allow that ancient wisdom to flow through your quieted mind. In a tucked-away cabin by a misty forest, Virginia would sit each morning before blank pages. She wasn't waiting for inspiration. She was open for transmission. As she entered the space between thought and form, her hand moved on its own, writing verses that felt like they came from beyond time. You have this same power to express the divine, even if you've forgotten it. When you're in tune with the source, your words transform from simple expressions into commands that shape reality. This isn't just poetry, it's creation. Virginia learned that the lines she wrote foretold events yet to come, new beginnings, storms, reunions, revelations. She became a clear vessel through which the source shared its intentions. This ancient truth remains. Pure speech, free from ego, becomes the language of creation. In the village below, Patrick, a humble shoemaker, worked quietly each morning. He would gently bless his tools, saying, "Through these hands flows perfect service." Soon, whispers began about how his shoes seemed to heal. Children's limps corrected, older joints regained movement, and tired souls felt lighter with every step. The source teaches us that words carry energy, and that energy shapes the world. But to tap into this power, you must have pure intentions. Patrick never boasted about his blessings or took credit for the healings. He understood that sacred words should be rare and held with respect. Your voice holds this same creative energy. Each word sends ripples through reality, yet many speak carelessly, watering down their power with mindless chatter. The source values quality over quantity, responding to the depth of silence from which your words spring. So practice this. Choose one meaningful sentence today, a truth that resonates deeply with you. Speak it aloud with respect and belief, as if the universe is listening and responding. Let your words rise from that profound stillness within you, tapping into that sacred well of wisdom. Feel the wisdom in your heart resonate within you. Let your voice carry each word with intention. Notice how the air around you shifts when you speak consciously. This one thoughtful word holds more weight than 1,000 careless ones. It springs from the deep truth inside you. Embracing sacred speech helps you tap into the power to shape your reality. In a little schoolhouse bathed in morning light, Geraldine stood before her class each day. Her smile hid her growing fatigue. Though everyone respected her, she had given so much that her light was fading. The law of the universe responds not just to what you say yes to, but also to what you say no to. Each boundary you set is a powerful statement that shapes the energy in your life. If you say yes out of obligation, it clouds your ability to manifest what you truly want. One autumn morning, as leaves danced in the schoolyard, Geraldine felt a shift within her. When asked to lead yet another committee, she spoke two simple words that changed everything. Not now. This wasn't an act of defiance, but a statement of her truth. Soon after, amazing opportunities began to show up: a grant for her dream project, an invite to teach advanced studies, a chance to craft a curriculum she had always imagined in a new city. Meanwhile, Albert wandered from door to door, selling goods with practiced charm but feeling empty inside. Then one day, he refused to sell a poor-quality product to an elderly woman. "I can't recommend this," he said, speaking from his heart for the first time in years. Though he lost the sale, something important shifted. His genuine no attracted real yeses, quality suppliers sought him out, and loyal customers multiplied. His business transformed through the power of truth. These stories reflect an age-old truth. Every choice sends a vibration into a field of infinite possibilities. Saying yes out of fear or no out of spite creates chaos. But when your choices align with your soul's truth, you set the law in motion. The most powerful practice you can adopt today is to say no to something that usually drains you. Maybe it's a commitment that doesn't serve you anymore. Don't let this choice come from a place of resistance. Let it come from wisdom. Listen closely to that quiet voice within you, often drowned out by the chaos of everyday life. Now say yes to something your soul truly craves. It could be spending time on a creative project you love, connecting with someone who inspires you, or just enjoying some peaceful silence. By consciously choosing, you start to align your actions with your authentic self. This is how you tap into the universe's transformative power. In the stillness of night, Eleanor would glow with healing energy as she helped those in need. But with each miracle she performed, a shadow of doubt crept into her heart. The stronger her gifts became, the more she questioned if she was truly worthy of them. You need to realize that the universe operates with perfect precision. It can't give you what you secretly think you don't deserve. Your conscious wishes might reach for the stars, but if deep down you believe, "That's not for me," the universe respects that belief. Inside you, there's a tangled web of hidden agreements shaped by past hurts, childhood lessons, and unspoken fears. These beliefs influence your reality far more than your spoken dreams or heartfelt prayers. In her hardest moments, as Eleanor thought about giving up her healing work, a shadowy figure with a hint of starlight appeared in her dreams. "You can't hold what you secretly hate," it said, revealing the crucial truth she had missed. She was battling her own power, feeling unworthy of that divine connection. Similarly, Stanley, a baker whose bread brought joy to everyone, found himself stuck in a cycle of almost succeeding. Every time prosperity was close, his business would stumble for some reason. The universe was mirroring his core belief that wealth would ruin his simple happiness. It wasn't until he confronted a childhood memory of his father's warnings about rich people that he understood the roots of his resistance. The law of attraction responds not to your desires, but to your true understanding. If you harbor hidden beliefs of unworthiness or fear, those beliefs shape your reality more profoundly than your greatest hopes. The universe has a blueprint for your reality, but those shadows don't have to last forever. They only exist until the light shines on them. Your job now? Be an archaeologist of your own mind. Dig deep. What beliefs are hidden beneath what you want? What old agreements are still holding your energy back? It's time to discover and let go of those hidden contracts. Start meditating and ask yourself, what belief tells me I don't deserve what I want? Write down the first thought that pops up, without judging it or hesitating. Let your pen move freely as your inner voice talks. This simple act of noticing your own thoughts will help dissolve the beliefs that hold you back. Remember, the answer you get isn't your ultimate truth. It's just a shadow waiting for your awareness to transform it. Practice this daily until you feel those old beliefs losing their grip on you. As you do this important work, be gentle with yourself. Those beliefs might have once offered you protection, but now it's time to let them go. Some might date back to your childhood, while others may be from recent pains. Regardless, they're just passing guests in your vast consciousness. With every new insight, take a deep breath and say, I release this belief with love and gratitude for what it taught me. Your dedication to this practice will slowly pave the way for new, empowering truths to grow in rich soil. Before we dive into the next chapter, you can grab a free ebook version of this audiobook through the link in the pinned comment below this video. Now let's talk about Chapter 14, Wealth is a Frequency. In a charming little town where roses bloom all year, Mildred ran her flower shop with a peaceful heart. Even though her cash register barely had more than a day's earnings, abundance flowed in her life like water. She lived gracefully, free from the worries that come from counting worth in numbers. You see, wealth starts as a frequency within you. The source responds not to your bank balance, but to how you feel inside. When you resonate with abundance, the universe responds and matches that energy. Many people chase wealth through hard work, endless calculations, and worry. But real abundance comes through a different way. It flows naturally to those who have learned the art of feeling wealthy. Before she had wealth, Mildred never fretted about where her next meal would come from. She found pure joy in arranging flowers and sharing beauty without sweating the details. Everything she needed seemed to arrive just when it was needed, a gift from a thankful customer, a surprise inheritance, a chance opportunity. On the other hand, Clayton, a big-time banker, was always stuck in his head. His thoughts were a whirlwind of numbers and predictions, and he spent sleepless nights stressing over market shifts. Despite having plenty of money, he felt an emptiness. The harder he chased wealth, the more it slipped away. Then one day, after losing everything in a market crash, Clayton stumbled upon something amazing. He let go of his frantic quest for riches and started to enjoy life again. Almost magically, abundance flowed back to him, more than he'd ever had before. The lesson became clear. Joy attracts, fear repels. This truth is timeless. The universe doesn't respond to what you do, but to how you feel. When you truly feel wealthy, without forcing it, you draw in abundance like a magnet. So try this. Take 5 minutes each morning to feel that sense of wealth before jumping into your day. Sit quietly as the sun rises, a time when connections run deep. Close your eyes and breathe deeply, letting each breath pull you into the present moment. Feel it in every part of you that you are truly wealthy. This isn't just a mantra, it's a deep knowing that bubbles up from your soul. Let that feeling wash over you, expanding outward like ripples on calm water until every part of you vibrates with abundance. The universe will pick up on this frequency and reflect it back to you because it can't help but resonate with who you have become. In Chapter 15, we learn that time is a trick of the mind. In the quiet hills outside the city, Harriet lived alone in her grandmother's home, keeping her dreams tucked away in a cedar chest like precious linens not ready to be used. Every morning, she would touch her dreams of opening a cozy bookshop, of traveling to faraway places, then carefully put them away again, waiting for that perfect moment that never seemed to come. But the truth is, time isn't a river flowing past you. It's a pool where you stand. The universe doesn't know about tomorrow or any special moment on the horizon. It only knows the present. When the storm finally came, it shattered the illusion of waiting. Harriet waited patiently as the old house creaked around her. Shingles fluttered like playing cards tossed by the wind. By morning, her shelter of delays lay in ruins, leaving her with nowhere to go. So she opened her cedar chest of dreams and discovered they had been waiting for this moment. Within days, she signed a lease for a small storefront. Weeks later, her bookshop rang with the laughter of its first customers. The universe didn't respond to her years of planning, but to her brave step forward. Supporters, resources, and opportunities appeared as if they had been waiting for her to make a move all along. Meanwhile, high in the mountains, Franklin carried the weight of someday. A wandering scholar, he filled notebooks with plans for the perfect school he dreamed of building. Each morning, he shared his latest ideas with Ming, a blind monk tending to the monastery's gardens. One day, Ming interrupted Franklin's elaborate thoughts. "The flower doesn't wait for perfect soil," he said, hands buried in the earth. "It blooms where it stands, and in blooming creates its own conditions." Those words hit Franklin like a bolt of lightning. He realized his endless preparation wasn't wisdom. It was fear dressed up as scholarship. That afternoon, he began teaching 3 children under a tree. Within months, his school thrived. Not because the timing was perfect, but because he had finally embraced the present moment. Now practice this. Stand in front of a mirror, look yourself in the eyes, and say with surety, "It is already mine. I am already ready." Let each word resonate with confidence. Feel the energy of these declarations wake up the dormant strength within you. Throughout your day, whenever doubt creeps in, return to that statement. Act as if today is the day everything changes, because in reality, it always has been. Every breath you take is a sign of your readiness. Every step moves you closer to what is already yours in the endless realm of spirit. In the stillness before dawn, Lucian would rise from his workbench and let his body express itself. No music played, no rhythm guided him, only a deep, ancient pulse moved through him. Some might think he was mad, watching this craftsman sway and turn in the dark, but often wisdom appears as madness to those who don't understand. The flow of creativity isn't about force or planning. It comes when you're in tune with your own truth. When Lucian laid his hands on the wood, something changed in the grain. His pieces started glowing with a light that no polish could replicate. They radiated a warmth that pulled people in from far away. You have this wisdom inside you, too. Your body knows what to do, even before your mind catches up. When you rush into action out of fear or duty, you swim against the current of creation. But when you let your movement come from a place of calm, you become a conduit for creativity. Take Annabelle, for example. She tried everything, every method, every seminar, every book, yet success kept slipping away. Then one day, she just stopped. She sat in her garden and listened. A quiet urge prompted her to walk toward the ocean. It was there, on that peaceful beach, that she met her future business partner, and her life changed completely. Your actions gain strength when they come from a place of alignment. The source of creativity doesn't need you to hustle endlessly. It waits for your conscious presence. When you feel that serene yes inside, and your body starts to move as if pulled by an invisible thread, you tap into the dance of creation. So practice this. Ask your body where it wants to go today. Sit still and let it share its wisdom. Pay attention to those soft nudges, those gentle urges that pull you in different directions. Your body carries ancient insights that your mind might not understand. Follow the answers that come, whether they lead you to the mountains or just encourage you to face the sun. Even if it's just one small step, that movement holds the potential for change. Trust this sacred conversation between your awareness and your body. It connects you to the endless flow of creation. In glassblowing, Nora found a timeless truth. Each morning before she picked up her tools, she would sit in deep stillness, letting visions form in her mind. As the molten glass shimmered in front of her, something magical happened. The material responded not just to her hands, but to the vision she held in her heart. The universe works in a constant cycle of creation, and your thoughts shape the possibilities into reality. When your beliefs take shape, they make you see what's possible, and those beliefs spark new thoughts, which pack even more creative energy. This cycle flows endlessly through everything. But when you doubt your visions, ignore what shows up, or question what you believe, you break that sacred flow. If you embrace each step and let your thoughts move freely into reality, you tap into a never-ending source of creativity. Wendell, a merchant, lived as if life was just a jumble of random happenings. Each day brought surprises and chaos. But things changed when an old journal tumbled off his shelf. As he started to jot down the images that popped into his mind during quiet moments, a pattern began to show. The scenes he wrote about started appearing in real life, first in tiny ways, then in vivid detail. You have that same ability. The ideas that flicker in your mind aren't just daydreams. They're the blueprints for what's coming. The universe responds not to your wishes, but to what you see so clearly that it feels real. When your inner vision aligns with your true self, the outside world has to follow suit. This isn't magic. It's simply how life works. Just like water flows downhill, reality moves toward your brightest images. The visions you hold do more than shape your future. They reshape your current view of what's possible. As your beliefs grow, your ability to envision even greater things expands too. This is the constant dance of creation happening in every moment. So practice this. Write down a vision for tomorrow morning, as if it's already happened. Fill in every detail with the confidence of a memory, not a wish. Feel the sun's warmth on your skin, taste your morning drink, embrace the calm satisfaction in your heart. Experience those feelings now, knowing they're already in motion. Make your visions so vivid that your mind can't tell it apart from reality. Then watch as the universe responds, pulling your clear vision into the physical world, just as day follows night. This is how tomorrow turns into today, thanks to the power of your conscious creation. In the depths of night, Florence found herself at an ancient gate, its surface covered in symbols that seemed to move in the moonlight. From the shadows, a figure appeared, Silas, the keeper of the gate. At the edge of discovery, you're tapping into wisdom that's been around for ages. Just like Florence faced Silas's puzzles, you're at your own turning point. The universe doesn't throw challenges your way to trip you up. It's there to see if you're truly ready for what comes next. Silas questioned Florence, and though she answered with confidence, the gate didn't budge. It only opened when she spoke from her heart, embracing her true self. Remember, authenticity is the key, not just saying what you think sounds good. Every challenge you encounter acts like a gatekeeper asking, "Are you really ready?" It's not about how much you know or how you look, but about what's real inside you. Take Peter, for example. He wore a mask of success, pretending to be confident, sharing words he didn't believe. But the universe was silent. It wasn't until he dropped the act and stood bare in his truth that things began to shift. The gate won't open with tricks or tactics. It only yields to honesty. Your current struggle, whether it's about love, money, health, or purpose, stands like Silas did before Florence. It's not after the perfect answer, but the genuine one. The universe wants to see your true self because that's where real change happens. When you feel stuck, remember you're at a sacred moment of choice. This guardian isn't looking for your strength, it wants your honesty. Here's a simple exercise. Jot down a challenge you're facing, be it in your relationships, work, health, or personal growth. Then, in a quiet moment, ask yourself, what truth is this gatekeeper waiting to hear from me? Let that question soak in until the answer comes from deep within. Understand that the universe doesn't respond to what you think it wants to hear. It listens for your deepest truth. This might feel uncomfortable because truth often resides in the places we avoid, but only by bravely facing it can you pass through to a new chapter in your life. She copied sacred texts carefully, each moment of meditation carving deeper insights into her mind. Something began to shift within her as the sun set. With moonlight pouring through her window, symbols that were once hidden began to dance on the scrolls, glowing with wisdom. Now you stand where Agnes once stood, teetering on the edge of greater understanding. The law you've come to know is just the tip of the iceberg, a starting point in an endless mystery. Like a turning crystal, every principle shows more and more dimensions. When you first met these teachings, you learned about vibration, silence, and taking aligned action. Now, it's time to pull back the curtain and uncover the subtler truths beneath. The law of attraction isn't just about pulling things toward you. It's about seeing that everything you want already exists, whole and complete. Henry, the master of illusions on stage, lived in that space between what seems real and what truly is. Night after night, he amazed his audience with his skills at misdirection, but with his rising fame, his inner struggles intensified. His perfect illusions reflected the battles he faced within himself, about worth, power, and possibility. One evening, as he got ready for his biggest performance yet, Henry looked into his dressing room mirror. In that moment, he saw through his own tricks. The true magic wasn't in his show, but in letting go of pretense. That night, he stepped onto stage as a channel of truth, not a master of deception. Instead of trickery, the audience witnessed real transformation. Just like Henry, your path with the source law now needs to change from gathering to revealing. The key question isn't about what else you need to learn, but rather, what veils are still hiding your vision. Choose one of your favorite teachings, something that has moved you or sparked clarity. Read it again, but this time, think of it as peeling back layers of an infinite onion. Ask yourself what else it means, What deeper truth is hiding beneath? Then, sit in silence and let your inner wisdom rise. The first lesson that resonated with you was just the entryway. Now, step through and explore what lies beyond. Listen not only with your brain but with your soul for that deeper truth waiting to be found, often the most profound. Understanding comes not from what we first think, but from the quiet moments that follow. Matilda wandered silently in a deep, ancient forest, where shadows held secrets and trees shared their wisdom. Grief had taken her voice, leaving only emptiness where words used to be. For months, she moved through life without speaking, until the forest led her to a hidden cave, a natural haven shaped by time and water. In that sacred space, something awakened within her. A single word rose up from her soul: life. As she whispered it, the sound filled the cave, growing and transforming. The echo bounced off the walls, stirring the sleeping birds and waking drowsy foxes. Her voice, now powerful, commanded the forest to react. You find yourself at this same moment of power. The source of creation doesn't rely on endless pleading or loud shouts. It flows through the unity of who you are. When your desire, belief, and words align, when every part of you resonates with your message, the universe bends to your will. Eugene, who once laughed at such ideas, learned this truth during the quiet hours before dawn. Years of skepticism had left him feeling empty until he began to speak his dreams, not as wishes, but as truths woven into reality. Each morning, he would state one truth and live as if it were already real. In a matter of weeks, his world began to shift, rearranging to match his confident declarations. The source responds not to how loudly you speak, but to how deeply you know your truth. When you come from this place of certainty, a whisper is all it takes. The universe doesn't need repetition. It craves resonance. Your words are like seeds planted in the rich soil of creation. Empty words blow away, but those filled with the light of your being grow swiftly. The power you seek doesn't need complicated rituals or endless affirmations. It only asks that you speak once, fully, and then live in the absolute certainty that it's already done. To practice, find a quiet space just for you. Close your eyes, center your thoughts, and when you're ready, say just one sentence that declares your new reality. Hold on tight to your beliefs and let your truth shine through. Speak up clearly. That's what really matters. When you connect with the endless power of creation, move forward each day knowing it's already done. The universe has heard you, and things are already in motion. Your job now is to live as if everything is complete, letting your words unfold naturally in the right time. Let's dive into the story. In a cozy little town where autumn leaves swirled through quiet streets, Lyle took care of the public gardens with love. Every morning, he arrived before sunrise, gently chatting to the flowers. Something interesting began to happen. Strangers walking by would slow down and nod slightly, almost as if showing respect. Here's the thing. When you align with the source of all creation, you wear an invisible crown. Not one made of gold, but one of light, a glow that others can feel, even if they don't fully grasp it. One night, Lyle had a dream where streams of bright light surrounded him. When he woke up, he realized true authority doesn't need to be shouted from the rooftops. It operates through energy, not force. Those who tap into this power carry a presence that naturally earns recognition without asking for it. It's not about titles or power. It's about the deep respect that comes to someone who remembers their true essence. Think of Evelyn, whose journey highlights this lesson. She used to fill rooms with chatter about her spiritual views, craving attention through her words. But when she learned to embrace her power in silence, everything changed. People who used to ignore her now sought her advice. She discovered something vital, and so should you. Real spiritual power doesn't chase after others, it draws them in. This principle is at the heart of manifesting your desires. When you stand strong in your truth, the universe aligns to acknowledge it. You don't need to shout your wisdom or prove your value. The law recognizes those who resonate with it, and through you, it beckons others. Your quiet presence becomes a lesson, your calmness a guiding light, and your confidence a pathway for others to follow. This isn't arrogance, it's just the natural glow of someone in tune with universal truth. So practice this. Walk in silence for 10 minutes. Spend a few minutes each day holding the posture of someone who knows. Watch how the world reacts. Step with purpose, keep your spine straight, and let your gaze be steady yet gentle. Notice how people naturally step aside, how they look at you with curiosity. Feel how your quiet confidence shifts the energy around you. This isn't about pride, it's about embracing your true power. The universe reflects what you project. When you walk aligned with your truth, truth welcomes you back. In a busy old marketplace, Horace danced daily. His feet moved over cobblestones, performing flashy routines, looking for applause, measuring his worth in coins tossed his way. But one morning, something changed inside him. He remembered why he danced in the first place. Understand this important truth. The laws of the universe respond not to your actions, but to who you really are. When Horace stopped performing and became the dance, the winds flowed with his movements. Children stopped to watch, not his steps, but the light radiating from him. Without throwing a hat out for coins, it overflowed. Without seeking attention, crowds gathered in awe. This is the secret many struggle to grasp. Creation comes not from hard work, but from being. When you push too hard to manifest, you push away the very things you want. The universe waits for your surrender into knowing. Take the story of June as a guide. For years she chased love, trying to prove her worth through endless searching. Her desperate energy ended up reflecting her feelings of lack. Then one morning, sitting quietly in her garden, she suddenly realized she was already complete. Just days later, admirers showed up at her door, not drawn by her searching, but by her certainty. The universe responds to those who stop chasing it. This isn't about passively waiting. It's about actively aligning with what is yours. When you stop the exhausting dance of proving and seeking, reality reorganizes itself around your centered confidence. The laws respond to who you are, not to what you want. Like Horace dancing for the joy of it or June resting in her own worth, you must align with the frequency of what you desire. No effort, no strain. Just have the quiet confidence that what you're looking for is already coming your way. Let that thought sink in deep. The world doesn't need convincing of your worth. It just needs to see you aligned with what's already true. When you truly believe this, the universe has to align with your certainty. Take a moment to think about one area of your life easing into flow. Picture it softening and moving like water, finding its own path. Don't say anything. Don't act. Just hold on to that rock-solid belief that the change is happening. Let your inner knowing feel as natural as breathing, as certain as the dawn following the night. In this sacred stillness of faith, notice the quiet strength of your aligned mindset. Now, let's talk about Gertrude. Every morning she woke with dreams that felt like they came from another world. These dreams had messages from the source, guiding those who sought her wisdom. But in her excitement to share, she spoke too openly, giving away precious insights to those who didn't see their value. You need to understand this timeless truth. Wisdom shared too soon can lose its power. The source works in cycles of hiding and revealing. When Gertrude shared her visions with those who doubted her gift, the connection to the divine started to weaken. Her dreams lost their vivid meaning and turned ordinary. Then, a wise sage came to her door, eyes full of ancient knowledge. The sacred should only be shared in sacred spaces, he told her. What comes from the source is meant first for the one who receives it. This isn't to stop sharing. It's about keeping that power intact. When you get wisdom in the quiet of your soul, it needs to grow within you before it can help others. Benedict, a wise man with many insights, learned this the hard way. He used to share his wisdom at every chance, talking so much that his words lost their magic. His influence faded each time he shared casually, until he noticed that those who spoke the least had the most power. Only when Benedict learned to wait for the right moment, speaking only when truly called upon, did his words regain their strength. He found out that wisdom shared sparingly carries its full impact. The law behind it is simple. It flows through specific paths. Not everyone is ready to hear every truth. Not every heart can handle a revelation. By keeping what you've learned safe until the right moment, you let its power grow instead of fade. Take a special truth that's come to you, maybe during meditation or in a flash of insight. Write it down carefully on a piece of paper, savoring each word as you go. Then, find a hidden spot just for you. It could be tucked between the pages of a favorite book, in a box of keepsakes, or folded within your journal. Let this truth be yours, sitting quietly and gathering strength in its silence. In time, you'll know when and who to share it with. For now, let it work its magic inside you, shifting your understanding while it rests in its secret place. Now let's talk about symbols and signs. One night, a seamstress named Beatrice sat by her window, needle in hand, pondering her path. Doubt filled her heart when a crow landed close by, its dark eyes locking onto hers. Hours later, an unexpected client arrived, bringing work that would transform her fortunes forever. You're stepping into a world where symbols take over from words, guided by the source law. The universe doesn't just speak through rules. It sings through the poetry of life itself. Every moment is packed with meaning, and every meeting has a message for those who can see. When you really connect with the source law, the world turns into a never-ending oracle. Trees bend in ways that answer your questions. Numbers repeat until you recognize their meaning. Animals show up just when you need their wisdom. This isn't just random, it's a conversation. The signs are all around you, just waiting for you to notice. They whisper in the rustle of leaves, the dance of the wind, and in the odd series of events that shape your day. The source law has always been talking. You may just have forgotten how to listen. Wallace, a merchant in a coastal town, learned this through his dreams. Night after night, visions came to him, showing storms before they struck and revealing the true nature of business partners before he made deals. At first, he brushed these off as fantasies, but each dream proved something profound. He learned to trust this quiet guidance. One night, he dreamt of empty shelves in his store. Instead of panicking, he recognized the message. He sold all his stock just before a flood would have ruined everything. This was protection speaking to him in symbols. You too are getting messages all the time. That bird that catches your attention, that song you hear repeatedly in one day, that nagging thought that won't go away. None of these things are random. They are the universe reaching out to your soul. To understand this divine conversation, you don't need to study. You need to let go. Stop forcing meaning and let the understanding come naturally. The signs will become clear when you stop trying to decode them and just let them resonate inside you. Try this. Ask the universe for a sign today. Do it with a sincere heart and let go of any expectations about how that sign should appear. Then, be quiet and open to receiving it without trying to control how it comes. Trust that the message will arrive at just the right time and in the way your soul needs. Remember, the most profound signs often show up in the simplest ways, maybe a random encounter, a number you keep seeing, or even a gentle change in the air. Your task isn't to chase after signs, but to stay open and let divine wisdom flow through the everyday moments of your life. In a dimly lit concert hall, Martha's fingers hovered over the piano keys. For 50 years, she had played to standing ovations, but now her hands shook with age. The music that once came easily felt forced and mechanical. That evening, thinking no one was watching, she closed her eyes and played just for the joy she had as a child. You need to grasp this. When you stop trying to prove yourself, you tap into a power that's so much more than skill or hard work. As Martha played for her own joy, something magical happened. The notes shimmered with a unique, otherworldly sound. Others practicing in nearby rooms felt compelled to listen, tears streaming down their faces, not even knowing why. The universe communicates through authenticity, not performance. When you connect with your true self, you become a channel for something more powerful than simple talent. This journey isn't about mastering skills, it's about embracing who you really are. Irving, a quiet shopkeeper, learned a valuable lesson in a different way. For years, he tried everything to bring in customers. Fancy window displays, catchy ads, and forced smiles. Yet people just walked past his store without noticing. One day, feeling worn out from all the effort, he decided to arrange his shop in a way that made him happy. He placed items where they felt right, hummed while he worked, and smiled only when it felt genuine. Within days, people started to stop and look at his window. Weeks later, his shop was known as a place that uplifted anyone who entered. Irving discovered a secret. True attraction comes from being real, not from trying hard. You can't fake presence or alignment. What matters is not what you try to show, but who you really are. When you live in tune with your true self, you send out a vibe others can feel. even if they can't explain it. This isn't about mastering a technique, it's about remembering who you really are. Your natural glow comes from simply being yourself. So here's a challenge. Do something today, just for the joy of it. Choose an activity that makes your heart sing, without worrying about results or reasons. It could be dancing alone, creating art just for fun, or sitting in nature to connect with the world around you. Let your pure joy become your message to the universe. When you're in this state of true delight, you align with the highest vibes of existence. Your genuine happiness speaks louder than any carefully crafted image ever could. In a small village nestled among misty hills, Oscar took care of his candle shop with care. One foggy morning, a wandering mystic came by, carrying a flame that was truly special. Its light danced in golden and blue hues, whispering age-old secrets. "This is no ordinary fire," the mystic told him. "It holds the essence of creation. Protect it, for as it burns, so does your connection to the source." Oscar learned that his inner light, his spiritual energy, needed the same kind of protection. Just like Oscar learned to protect his sacred flame from strong winds and heavy rains, you too need to guard your energy from the many forces that can dim it during winter storms and summer squalls. Oscar stayed watchful. He found out that the flame didn't just weaken from outside threats, but from his own feelings. When fear slipped into his heart, the flame would flicker. When his focus drifted, it dimmed. And when he felt tired, it almost went out. Through this, the sacred fire revealed an important truth. Your state of being is everything. Think about Lucinda. She used to light up every room she walked into. People came to her for advice, drawn to the peace she radiated. But then she let her energy get scattered. A bit of worry here, some drama there, and hours spent in places that drained her light. Slowly, her radiance faded, so slowly she didn't even realize it. Until one day, she couldn't feel the warmth of her own spirit anymore. Only when she stepped back did Lucinda rediscover what Oscar learned through his sacred duty. Your vibration is the key to all creation. Without a protected inner state, even the best intentions scatter like seeds in a storm. The source of life can't flow through a vessel that leaks. This lesson stands above all others. Guard your inner flame like it's the most important thing in the universe, because it is. Every thought that dims you, every relationship that drains you, every place that dulls your shine, these aren't just small annoyances. They're spiritual emergencies that need your urgent attention. Your energy, your inner light, is the currency of creation. When you protect it with the same care Oscar gave to his sacred flame, you find that everything you wish to create comes from this wellspring of power. Start by becoming the guardian of your own vibration. Pick one source of energy drain in your life, be it a draining relationship, a bad habit, or a place that dulls your spirit. Cut it out completely today, without hesitation or compromise. Make this sacred act your first step in protecting your inner fire. When you take decisive action to stop these spiritual leaks, you show the universe you're committed to safeguarding the divine flame within. Remember, this isn't just a suggestion. It's essential for your well-being and impacts the very fabric of creation itself. In the Master's mirror, tucked away in a serene garden where roses thrived on their own, Delilah would sit each morning in perfect stillness. She had long given up traditional teaching, realizing that pure presence speaks louder than words. As she rested there, people would be drawn to the bench beside her, and without knowing why, tears would start to flow. You stand at the same threshold of power now. When you truly embody your source, just being there can spark awakening in others. It's not about doing, it's about being. The light you nurture within shines a welcome reminder of what others have forgotten is there. By aligning with your source, you become a living mirror. People who meet you will feel something awaken, a memory of their own divine essence. Their tears aren't of sadness, they're tears of recognition. They remember who they really are. Kenneth, who took a vow of silence in a faraway monastery, learned this when he returned to his village. Even though he said nothing, crowds flocked to him. They couldn't explain it, but in his presence their burdens seemed to lift. Some found a peace they hadn't felt since they were kids. Others gained clarity on long-standing dilemmas. What Kenneth and Delilah embodied, you will too. This is the ultimate expression of the law. When your very being resonates with truth, you don't need words. You become a living example of what's possible, a testament to the power of aligned energy. This state can't be forced or faked. It arises naturally when you surrender to the law and let go of the urge to convince others. Your job now is simply to be what you know. Those ready to awaken will find you, drawn by an unnameable force. Your silence will say everything. Your stillness will move mountains. Your presence will be enough. To practice, find a quiet spot in a bustling place, a park bench, a cafe, or a garden. Sit in complete silence, not as if you're distant, but radiating peaceful certainty. Hold within you the quiet awareness of all you've learned. Let this truth fill you, allowing it to shine naturally. Don't try to catch anyone's eye or gain attention. Just pay attention and notice how some people begin to draw closer to you. They might hang around or peek your way. See how your quiet connection to deeper truths acts like a hidden light, attracting those ready to find their own power. In a dimly lit study of an old Victorian house, Caroline found a leather manuscript, its pages filled with flowing words, no periods, no commas, just the natural flow of breath. As she read it aloud, the air around her changed, feeling almost crystal-like. The walls seemed to pulse with her voice. You need to know that language is more than just words. Each word holds a special rhythm, a kind of blueprint that shapes reality. When you speak, you're not just communicating, you're crafting worlds. The universe listens not just to what you say, but how you say it. The tone, the rhythm, the intention. Every syllable vibrates through reality itself. That's why ancient texts were chanted, not just read. That's why prayers were sung, not simply spoken. Roland, a merchant who lost everything, stumbled upon this truth by chance. Every morning he started blessing his life, not with regular words, but with a poetic rhythm. Abundance flows through me like rivers of gold. Peace surrounds me like morning light. Joy fills my days as breath fills my lungs. Within weeks, everything changed. Customers showed up as if called, and opportunities appeared from nowhere. His life mirrored the rhythm of his chosen words. His story shows a vital lesson. Conscious speech isn't just casual talk. It's a sacred act. When you speak intentionally, you're tapping into an ancient way of creating. The universe itself is all about rhythm, the beating hearts, the spinning planets, the pulse of everything. When your words align with this cosmic beat, things start happening faster. Treat your speech like a ceremony. Every word you say sends ripples through the fabric of reality. The universe is waiting for your command and responds best to words spoken with care and rhythm. So practice. Write just a single, craft a clear sentence that embodies the life you want to create. Each morning and evening, say these sacred words out loud. Do it with deep respect and a steady rhythm. Let your voice connect with the cosmic energy that shapes reality. Feel each word vibrate through you as you declare your truth to the universe. This daily practice of speaking consciously will align your energy with the reality you wish to build. In Chapter 29, titled The Final Veil, we find Ma in her small cottage, surrounded by drying herbs and ancient remedies. She lies on her deathbed, her breaths becoming shallow as fever grips her. The walls of her world start to fade away. But this isn't an ending, it's a beginning. The solid things around her turn transparent, showing the bright energy that has always been beneath the surface. In that moment of letting go, when she released her hold on what she thought was real, Ma didn't die. She remembered. You've traveled a long way to understand this, but what you seek has always been with you. The source isn't a force to tap into or a power to earn. It's your very essence. Like Ma, you've lived behind a veil of separation, seeing yourself as apart from the force that creates everything. This illusion has helped you experience the journey of remembering, but now it's time to let go of that final barrier. The source isn't something that flows through you. You are the source expressing itself in form. Every breath you take is the universe breathing. Every thought is creation thinking itself into new shapes. Reuben, a dedicated seeker, spent decades praying to a distant divine. But one morning, in profound silence, he heard his own voice speak with new authority. In that moment, he realized his prayers were like letters he wrote to himself. He stopped begging and began to declare, understanding that the voice of creation was always his own. This isn't a lesson to grasp, it's a truth to remember. You've never been separate from the source. You've just dreamt of separation to know the joy of coming back to yourself. All spiritual searching has led to this awareness. The seeker and the sought are one. The law of attraction, manifestation, and creation aren't techniques to master. They are expressions of your true self. When you say, "I am," the universe shifts because you embody the universe in action. When you speak, creation hears you because you are creation speaking out. Let this truth sink into your very being. You're not chasing something far away. You're waking up to who you've always been. The power you're after isn't lost. It's just waiting for you to remember it. Take a moment, sit quietly and softly say, "I and the source are one." Repeat it until it feels familiar. In a bright, peaceful classroom, Abigail faced her spiritual guide, a question lingering in the air like incense. The law is. Without pausing, she answered, "Me." In that moment, everything around shifted, not in a physical way, but deeply inside. Her heartfelt words held the essence of all wisdom. Now you stand on the brink of a profound truth. All your learning, every practice, every whispered insight has led you to this moment of realization. The law you've studied isn't separate from you. It flows from your very being, showing itself in various forms. Look back at your journey. Each experience, every principle revealed wasn't about getting closer to something out there. It was about stripping away the layers that covered your true self. The source isn't something that arrives to you or passes through you. It is you, moving in a perfect and divine way. Eliot roamed the world, searching for enlightenment, studying with wise teachers, and performing rituals, always believing that something was just out of reach. One day, worn out from his quest, he rested under a tree and simply stopped. In that moment of surrender, he laughed because what he was searching for had always been within him. He was what he sought. This truth isn't something you can learn. It's something you remember. Your thoughts are the universe contemplating. Your desires are creation reaching out for new forms. Your voice is the law expressing itself. There's no divide between you and the force that drives the worlds. The sacred texts, the ancient wisdom, the endless practices are reflections, showing you your own true self. You are not just a channel for the law, nor a student in its mysteries, nor a seeker of its truths. You are the law itself, awakening to its essence. Try this. Write down "I am the law" on a piece of paper and carry it with you in silence for 7 days. If you like this audiobook, I put together a free ebook version for you. You can grab it through the link in the pinned comment. You've reached a point where words fade and silence takes over. The lessons in these chapters weren't just meant to be read. They were meant to stir something deep inside you. As you finish this book, remember, this isn't the end. It's the start of something timeless moving through you. The essence of truth now flows with your breath, speaking in your quiet moments and expressing through who you are. You don't need to chase it anymore. You have become it. The mystery hasn't been solved. It has blended into your very being. Your search isn't over. It has transformed into something you embody. As you walk through life now, you'll see reality shifts around you. It's not because you've learned something brand new, but because you've tapped into something ancient within. The strength you once sought out there now shines from inside you. Just your presence can bring change, mend hearts, and open paths. Speak less, for your silence now holds more power than 1,000 remarks. Trust deeply, because you are the very force you once relied upon. Let your awareness flow out into the universe. No need for explanations. The essence of truth is hearing through your ears, seeing through your eyes, creating through your hands. You haven't hit a dead end. You've awakened to a beginning that never fades. Each breath pulls in more of who you've always been. Each moment of quiet shows you another aspect of your infinite self. This journey isn't over. It has melded with your spirit. Be still. Be present. Embrace the silence between the stars, because in that vast stillness you'll hear the universe speaking, not to you, but as you. The essence is listening, and now you are too. If you loved this exclusive audiobook, I've chosen another one that will transform your life.